Hello, and welcome to the very first video of the Brown Initiative for Discipleship and Evangelism. My name is Ethan Brown, and welcome to BIDE. This video is being made in connection to the partnership program with Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary, where I'm a Doctor of Ministry student in the Outreach and Discipleship program. And in my studies, I have read an unbelievable amount of information on kind of three topics: revival, outreach, and discipleship. I want to talk in this video about the essential nature of evangelism. What is it? If I can take just a minute, and here comes a wedding party. Evangelism is that element of church life that gets us outside the church building. It takes us out and compels us to talk to other people with the message of the gospel that Jesus is the King and he wants to rescue them. He loves them and he wants to save them. But what is it exactly? Well, in my other life, I teach logic to high school students. And I'd like to talk with you for just a moment about essences. If you'll allow me, I'm going to do a short philosophy and logic lesson and use that to help us to understand the essential nature of evangelism. So, when we talk about an essence in philosophy, we're talking about what a thing is, like what it actually is in its most fundamental nature. When you look way down inside of it, that's a thing's essence. The word essential comes from the word essence. And when you talk about something that's essential, you're talking about something that is necessary. If you're going to have this thing, whatever it is, then it's necessary that you have the essence of that thing. Philosophers may find they want to talk about other aspects of a thing, like characteristics of a thing. And if they're going to do that, they're going to talk about properties and accidents. A property is a characteristic that is directly related to the essence. So if you have a thing and you have its essence, then there are several properties that are always found with it. Accidents are things that are characteristics of a thing, but they aren't necessarily directly related to the essence. So you might have an accident. You'll always have a property. You might have an accident. Let me give you some examples of this. When you're dealing with the essence of, say, a human being, what is essential to a human being? Well, a human being is an animal because we have, bodies, and we do all the things that animals do. We eat, we sleep, we breathe. Specifically, we're mammals or vertebrates. We are biologically alive. But is that our essence? Well, not just that, because also we are a specific kind of animal. We have a rational soul. We think differently than any other animal. No other animal shows evidence of having the kind of internal life that human beings have. So, human beings can be thought of essentially as rational animals. That's our essence, according to the philosopher Aristotle. Now, what are some properties of human beings? Well, related to that rational soul thing, human beings use language. We talk. We have poetry, that we write. We also wear clothes. To my knowledge, we're the only animals that do, because we're self-aware in a different way and we have shame. Human beings also have the property of having lungs. I don't think I've ever met a human being that didn't have those, because it's directly related to the kind of biological life that we are. It's directly touching on our essence. So all of these properties, using language, having lungs, they are there in every human being. And that's just part of our, well, it's not part of our essential nature, but it's directly related to it. So those characteristics will show up in human beings. But what about accidents? Well, I know a man who's bald. He has no hair on his head whatsoever. That's not common. Every human being isn't like that. I know many human beings who do, in fact, have hair. So that isn't essential at all. You can be a human being and be bald, and you can be a human being and have hair. Either way, works just fine. So those are characteristics, but they're not directly related to the essential nature of the thing. They're there sometimes. Yeah, so things like fat or short or Caucasian or African American or Chinese, or pick your ethnicity, or smelly or intelligent. These are all accidents. None of those are essential. You can have it or not have it. And they're all great, but they're all accidents. Now, what we're wanting to do in this video is ask ourselves, what is the essential nature of evangelism? If you were to boil it down, what is the thing that's absolutely necessary? It absolutely has to be there in order for evangelism to exist. What's its essential nature? So when we talk about evangelism, what are its accidents? What are its properties? And what is its essential nature? Well, if you'd asked me before I did all of this reading, I would have told you that the essential nature of evangelism is that it is a form of persuasion, that you're trying to persuade people to believe a particular thing. I'm now pretty convinced that that isn't true. It is a property. Whenever true evangelism shows up, persuasion will show up with it, because it's a property of evangelism to attempt to persuade. Using a particular method is just an accident. All efforts to do evangelism will have some kind of method attached to them. But is it one that's conversational or relational? Does it have a curriculum or no? Those are all accidents. But they're all seeking to persuade. That's always present. But why is it always present? Is it there because that's the essential nature of evangelism? And to that, I would say, no, I don't think so. What I have concluded from all of the reading that I've done is that the essential nature of evangelism is love for the lost person, or love for lost people. That's what drives us out of the church and gets us out among other people. It's love. And that is its essence. That's what makes it what it is. It is both God's love for that lost person, Jesus' love for that lost person, but also the disciple who is following Jesus interacting with a lost person that isn't following Jesus yet. That person has to love that lost person. If you don't love them, it's not evangelism. There's an awful lot of evangelistic efforts that are made that miss the entire essence of evangelism. And when we miss the essence of evangelism, the people know it. People know when they're being loved, and they know when they're not. And not everyone responds the same way to the love of God or to the love of people. I wish that were always true, because that would make evangelism a lot easier. It's not true. There are people that will harden up against the love of God, or who don't trust it. There are people who will harden up against the love of the servant of God, that would be you, if you're trying to do evangelism. They may not trust you. They may have had a lot of bad experiences with somebody before. But love is the way you bear with that, and you continue to keep moving, even when it's gotten really hard. It's love that will keep you doing evangelism. It's love that will keep you honest when you're doing evangelism. Because when you read the characteristics of love that are found in 1 Corinthians 13, that kind of Christian love, it's not going to be manipulative. It's not going to give up. It's going to keep bearing everything. Love is the essence of evangelism. Now, persuasion is important. It needs to be a part of things. It's a property of all proper evangelism. It's always going to be there. But ultimately, the essence of evangelism is love. That's what evangelism really is. If you're not cultivating love inside your heart for the outsider, you're never going to be an effective evangelist. That's what God calls us to. That's who he wants us to be. If you don't love people, they know it. If you don't love people, God knows it. The sad thing is that an awful lot of people who are trying to do evangelism, well, they don't know it. And it's always worth backing away at the very beginning, before you do anything with anybody, and asking yourself, would I be doing what I'm doing right now if I love the person I'm trying to do it to or do it for? If I love them, would I do this? And if you're not sure, maybe it's time to rethink and pray. Because God so loved the world that he sent us in the honor of Christ and for the life of the world.